right, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give our praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Kakadash. Double honors, it was a Apostle Great Mills, Tony Truth and Rule Well. Peace, blessings and salutation. I come out there, scattered abroad to the four corners of earth, that's serving the truth and true sincerity. To us say shalom. This is Brother Nabala, come to another video in the spirit. And the top of this video is going to be about the Lord has only dealt with the nation of Israel. You know, what sparked this video topic was you see, the two Genesis cats still on the same stance that they have, about the Lord. Basically, in a nutshell, the Lord dealing with the other nations. The latest video I've seen them do was how they saying how the Lord has compassion for the non-Israelite Gentiles, and they're constantly putting up a fight, for these other nations, trying to make room for them, but there's no room for them in this thing. The other nations do not have nothing to do with the Lord. It's just that simple. Yeah, you see in the scripture where the Lord, has okay, you can give Nebuchadnezzar. Okay, he gave Nebuchadnezzar a vision, but Nebuchadnezzar was not an Israelite. Okay, with Balaam, how the Lord has had interactions with people from other nations. But far as the Lord only dealing with the nation of Israel, as far as giving him the law, statutes, commandments, as far as giving us the promises, the inheritance that Yahweh desire we give those men to inherit, he's only giving that, to the Israelites, man. The Lord is only dealing with us on a certain level. He hasn't dealt with these other nations on the same level how he's dealt with the children of Israel, man. So I'm just gonna grab this. This is Deuteronomy 14:2. It says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy power, and the Lord hath chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself above all the nations that are upon the earth." Yeah. It says we are an holy people to Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, man. He has chosen us to be a peculiar people unto himself. He didn't choose any other nation, man. It says above all nations that are upon the earth. So we are the chosen nation of people of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua, man. We're above these other nations, man. We're now on the same level, and throughout the scriptures, the Lord has only been dealing with the nation of Israel. We're the only one that have gone through go through the things that link up with the scriptures, man. No other nation people has done that. Okay? And for us going through those things, why? Because we had to go through those curses because we sinned against the Lord. These other nations, what? Can they sin against the Lord? Technically, no. Why? Because the Lord didn't give them the laws. What is sin? Sin is transgression of the law. Who did the Lord give the laws to? Only to what? The Israelites. And you can grab that here, man. This is Psalms 147:19. He streweth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He have not dealt so with any nation, and as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise you the Lord. Well, there you go, man. These other nations don't know the judgments of Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. He hasn't dealt with them on that level. So technically, they can't sin against the Heavenly Father because the Lord is not dealing with them. The Lord gave us what? The law, statutes, commandments, and from us having it, what? We're supposed to teach other nations, and the other nations was going to look unto us. It says that when we go back to Deuteronomy. I can't remember if it's 4. Let me see. Yeah, this is Deuteronomy 4, and let me see. I'm gonna grab 5. It says, "Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as the Lord my power commanded me, that you should do so in the land whither you go to possess it. Keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. For what nation is there so great, who hath power so nigh unto them, as the Lord our power is in all things that we call upon him for? And what nation is there so great, that have statutes and judgments so righteous, all this law which I set before you this day? Yeah. So that's what the other nations were saying, because the Lord only gave us what? The law, statutes, commandments. He only dealt with us on that level. And we was living righteously. And from us living righteously, what? We was basically supposed to be teaching that to the other nations how to live. That's what we were supposed to do. But what do we do? We start sinning, man. We start transgressing the laws. We start wanting to follow after the other nations' way of living instead of keeping our own. So that's why we end up being in the state that we're in now. But even with us being in the state that we're in now, that didn't usher in for other nations. That didn't allow other nations to partake in this. No. We had to go through these curses. We had to go through that chastisement. But what? Now we're brought back to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And to this day, he's only dealing with the nation of Israel, man. So, let me grab this. This is Psalms 105. And I'm going to start at 6. It says, O ye seed of Abraham, his servant, ye children of Jacob, his chosen. Okay? Because that's where it started from. That's where the promises started from. From him making that covenant with Abraham. And it went down to Isaac, and then it went down to Jacob. In verse 7, it says, He is the Lord our power. His judgments are in all the earth. He hath remembered his covenant forever, the word which he commanded to 1,000 generations, which covenant he made with Abraham and Salakia, and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel for an everlasting covenant. Yeah. So he made an everlasting covenant, with the nation of Israel, man. Okay. Now, what the first covenant? What we fell short of it, That's why Yahushua came, and when Yahushua came, he brought us back. What? How did he bring us back? By sacrificing himself, man. And he created that second covenant, man. But we're not into the second covenant, because what is that second covenant? That second covenant is when we're in the kingdom. So we're in the between stages of the first and second covenant. We're not in the second covenant yet. The second covenant is in the kingdom. Cause what's that second covenant? When we're in those new bodies, man. When we're reigning with the Yahweh Shem Yahushai. But we're able to obtain that through Yahushua sacrificing himself, man. So that's a new covenant that the Lord is gonna make with us when he put the law, statutes, commandments into our inward parts, man. And we don't go off no more. That's the second covenant. So that's a new covenant that he made for us falling off. And he only gave that to the nation of Israel. He didn't, man. It's crazy. But like I said in the video I did before, what they're trying to do is they're trying to make an escape plan, and they're trying to separate themselves, from GMS. They don't want to be looked as those guys who are speak so harshly and so rudely and say that the other nations are not going to make it, or they're not going to have there's not going to be no compassion or something. They don't want to be those guys. They want to try to separate themselves because they see what's getting ready to happen. If you're an Israelite and you're watching and you seeing what he's doing, you see what's about to happen, man. He's getting ready to roll. So they're trying to separate themselves, man, because they think that they're going to be in a good case. But I don't know if they fail to understand, or if they just being ignorant, or they just thinking that they're going to be, what's that saying? I can't remember saying, but they think they're just going to be, I guess, a different case or whatever. But he don't care about none of that. If you're an Israelite, man, if you're a Negro, Latino, or Native American, he's coming for you. When it comes to these camps, he don't care if you're a GMS, ISUPK, Genesis, IUIC, Wi-Fi. He don't care about none of that. He still looks at you as an Israelite. He still looks at you as a black person, because that's what they label us. So he's going to come roll on you. So this is Jeremiah 31 and 31. It says, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel. After those days, saith the Lord, I will put my law in their inward parts and write it in their hearts, and will be their power, and they shall be my people. Yeah. So if you make a contract with somebody, right? You make a contract with somebody and they break it, and you make a new contract. Are you making a new contract with somebody else, or are you making a new contract with the same person? You're making a new contract because the old contract was voided. So you have to make a new one. It's going to be with the same people. And that's what the Lord has done. He made a new contract with the same people, man. Because when you go back to that Psalms 147, he only gave his laws, statutes, commandments, to Israel, to Jake. And we transgressed against. So he got to make a new contract with us. That's what he said. He's going to, instead of it, we just having the laws written down and we have to read them and keep them. He's going to write the laws in our inward part, so it's going to be inside of us, and we're never going to go off. That's new covenant, man. And we are not there yet, because you had men teaching that we were in a new covenant. We're not there yet. We're not in a new covenant till Yahweh returns. So let me grab this. This is 2nd Ezra 3 and 30. It says, for I have seen how thou sufferest them sinning, and has spared wicked doers, and has destroyed thy people, and has preserved thy enemies, and has not signified it. I do not remember how this way may be left. Are they then of Babylon better than they of Sion? Or is there any other people that know of thee besides Israel? Or what generation have so believed thy covenants as Jacob? So this was Ezra, was speaking to the angel, man. He was saying, because he was seeing how the wicked basically is being preserved by how you destroyed your people. So he was saying, damn, are these people better than us? Do they know you? Are they keeping the laws better than us? Do they believe too, like us? So verse 33 says, and yet their reward appeareth not, and their labor have no fruit. For I have gone here and there through the heathen, and I see that they flow in wealth, and think not upon thy commandments. Yeah. So they're prospering, and they don't even keep the law, statutes, and commandments. It says, weigh thou therefore our wickedness now in the balance, and theirs also that dwell the world. And so shall thy name nowhere be found but in Israel, man. Verse 35, it says, or when was it that they which dwell upon the earth have not sinned in thy sight? Or what people have so kept thy commandments? Thou shalt find that Israel by name hath kept thy precepts, but not the heathen. The heathen has never kept the ways of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. When you go to Isaiah, I believe it's 26:10, it says, let favor be shown unto the wicked, and he will not learn righteousness, man. The Lord showed favor to E, and what has E done it? E is over there in the land right now. Look what they have done to the land. E is in rulership right now. Look what they've done to the world, man. They don't behold the majesty of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. They mock the Lord, man. They buck up against the Lord. They try to put themselves on the same pedestal as Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And then these other nations, man, got their own gods that they believe in, man. So why would the Lord show compassion on them when they're not showing him no reverence? If they're not keeping his ways, why would he do that? It don't make sense. But it all goes back to what I just said, man. They're trying to separate themselves when they think they're trimming their way to seek love, like it says in Jeremiah 2, I believe the 33rd verse. They're trimming their way to seek love, man. But you're not gonna get no love, especially not from E. But they gonna find that out the hard way. So I'm gonna grab these last couple scriptures. This is Amos 3 in verse 1. It says, "Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel, against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt." What the hell is he doing? Salakia. It's verse 2. It says, you only have I known of all the families of the earth, therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities. Yeah. And this kind of answers Ezra's question, man. What he was saying to the Lord. The Lord said, only have I known you. He says, of all the families of the earth, I only know the children of Israel. That's why I'm going to punish you for your iniquities, man. Look, when you look at it carnally, man, when you look at when a parent, and they children, if you gonna whoop your kid's ass. Say your kid has his friends come over, and they all chilling, they all acting a damn fool. Who are you gonna whoop? You gonna whoop your kid's ass, because your kid knows better. Okay, they're in your house. They know what you want. They know how to conduct themselves. So like you for that background words, but they know how to conduct themselves. So if them and their friends are going off, you gonna whoop them, because that's your child and they know your rules. The other kids, they don't know your rules, man. So you're not gonna whoop them. You're gonna whoop yours. Same way with the Heavenly Father. The Lord didn't give his rules, man, to these heathen nations. He only gave them to us. And since we knew better and we went against it, what? We had to be punished for it. Yeah. So let me grab this last scripture. This is Malachi 3 and 6. It says, "For I am the Lord, I change not. Therefore you sons of Jacob are not consumed." Yeah. The children of Jacob, man, the sons of Israel are not consumed, man. The Lord has not changed, man. He's a man of his word. Okay? So the Lord has only been dealing with the nation of Israel, and he's only going to continue to deal with the nation of Israel. But now, on this time, he's not dealing with the whole nation of Israel, man. He's only dealing with the elect, man. That's only who the Lord is going to save, is the elect. So Yahweh Razal will be part of that number. It's not for all of Jake. It's damn sure for none of heathens. If you're not an Israelite, man, if your bloodline don't go back to the Israelites, then you are heathen, and you're not going to receive salvation. And in the kingdom, you're not going to have no compassion. Okay? And for 1,000 years, y'all going to serve hardcore slavery. And after those 1,000 years, Esau Edom, the so-called white man, he's going to be done away with. And the rest of you other nations are going to be able to go back and live in your lands, but you're going to be still in subjection under us, man. There's not going to be no compassion, man. Y'all going to be able to go live in your lands, but y'all still going to have to keep our ways. And if y'all don't keep our ways, what? Then that's y'all last. And it's just that simple. Okay? So, that's pretty much it. Lord willing, this video is edifying. I'm going to close out by giving all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Shalom.